Hello, welcome to Gen Z Finance. I'm an older Gen Z on the cusp of being a young millennial, documenting my financial journey here on YouTube and over on my Instagram at ZNEOfinance. So before I get too far into this video, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and go follow me over on my Instagram for more personal finance content. Today we are budgeting my first paycheck of June, my first of 2 paychecks in June for my full-time job. So that is what you see up here in to be budgeted. And I do just want to say, if you can hear any thunder or rain in the background, I apologize, but it is storming right now in Florida. So if I try to wait until it's not storming in Florida during the summer, I could be waiting a very long time. So we're just going to go ahead and continue on with this video. So if I scroll through my budget, and you can see we're in June right now, everything is funded for the most part for June. So I'm going to go ahead and jump forward into July because I do budget 1 month ahead in YNAB, and I'm going to start funding things in July. So I always do half of the $400 I need for my bills to my mom. I'm also going to take care of this 99 cents in monthly subscriptions, which for right now is just Apple storage. And that reminds me, I'm going to come down to the bottom where I save for my annual subscriptions. I'm going to select that entire section, come over here to the right, and this underfunded button tells me that I need $30.76 to fully fund all of these categories based on my goals and when I need the money by. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I like to hide the subscription category just because I don't need it until I have to actually spend money from one of those categories, and that's not coming up anytime soon. So I unhide it when I'm budgeting money into it, and then I hide it again just to kind of clean up my budget and keep my budget concise. We are going to be doing $65 into gas. Coming into health and wellness, over here my goal says $20, but then this line item says $15, so I'm just going to change this to $20 so that we're all on the same page. And I will be doing $20 into here. $5 into other / miscellaneous. I will go ahead and do the $25 into dining out and $30 into entertainment. And then these other categories don't need anything right now. In giving, for now I'm going to skip the $50 in donations and just take care of my $100 in gifts, and then come down to my investing section. We will do half of that $500 for my Roth IRA, and then the first $100 that I need for my brokerage. I contribute to my brokerage every other Monday, and so there are 2 Mondays this month in June, so that's that. Nothing to crypto, at least I'm not going to plan anything to crypto for now. Leaves me $261, and so now I'm going to jump back into June, come all the way down to June to my savings section, and go ahead and budget $200 into my next year deductible category. And so with this, I'm going to put that $60 into this car ownership category. I had to spend about $240 out of car ownership last month in May, so I'm trying to build this back up to my goal of $500. So we will do $60 there. That leaves me with $1.40, and I will just put this into holding and let that build up. Since that was such a quick budget with me, I did just want to take a couple of minutes and show you one of my favorite features in YNAB that is often forgotten about and not talked enough about. So this is how you can manage and update your payees for all of your account transactions. So if I go into my checking account, this payee field right here is often overlooked, but YNAB has a great way that you can manage all of these things. So if you come up to your kind of budget name and budget settings and come down here to this manage payee option, this will pull out a list of all of your payees that you have in your current budget. And my payees are honestly pretty concise already because I make a concerted effort to keep them concise, but especially if you import transactions, you might have a whole mess of payees that don't really make sense, and it's kind of up to you if you want to clean them up, but a lot of people don't even know that this is a option, so I did want to take a couple minutes to highlight it. Oh, and here's a great example. So right here I have this tires pla, and obviously that was a mistake on my end. This should be tires plus. So when I edit that here, it will update all of the transactions that had that tires pla payee name, and now it is updated to tires plus, which we can see here. So when you click on a certain payee, it will give you a couple of options, so you can select if you would like to see that payee appear in the payee list when you're entering a transaction. So what that looks like is when you add transaction, go to the payee, it will automatically populate all of your payees. And if you didn't want one of these payees to appear, you could tell YNAB that by clicking this include in payee list on and off. And then it also gives you an option that if anytime you enter this payee name, you can tell your budget to automatically add any transactions to this category. Now you can always, as you're adding in the transaction, update that category if it doesn't fall into place. But for myself, usually if I have Starbucks, it can always go under dining out. That's usually where it would go. But for any of your grocery stores, maybe you know that should always go under groceries, so you can tell YNAB that and update your settings in this manage payee box. So there are also options for you to kind of do a mass update of all of the transactions that include that payee. So for instance, First Watch is a brunch spot. You can see here I have only gone there once, and for me personally, I try not to get too specific with like my restaurant names unless it's a restaurant or a store I frequent a lot. But obviously I don't really go to First Watch that often just based on my transaction history. So what I would do with this is I will select First Watch, and then I'm going to go ahead and select my already created restaurant category. If I select both of those at the same time, YNAB will ask if I want to rename and combine these payees, and I do, but I want them to be renamed to a restaurant. So we will combine, press that. And now if I come back up here, there's no more First Watch option, but my restaurant payee now includes that First Watch transaction. So every quarter to half a year, I like to just go through my payees and clean them up. But you can already see that some of my payees are already pretty vague. Like instead of entering separate payees for the place where I get my eyebrows done and the place where I get my hair cut and, you know, spas or whatnot, I just lump that all under a beauty salon, because for me, I don't need to know the details of exactly which store I get these services done. If you do, that's definitely valid and you can do that, but I prefer to keep that vague. Same thing with gas station. Any gas station, I don't care if it's a Shell, BP, Wawa, it would all go under gas station. Again, I don't really care to know exactly where I'm getting my gas. So if I select all of my payees, I actually have 73 payees, but quite a bit of these are just all of the options that I have to transfer between all of my accounts. So I have 19 in total transfer payees, which means I really only have about 55 payees currently active in my budget. And again, I think that's a good amount, because I'm sure if you looked at some people's payees, there might be hundreds, like 200 or 300 or even more. And again, if it's not a big concern for you or you don't really care, that's perfectly fine. But again, I just feel like the managed payees section of YNAB does not get enough love, and it is definitely one of my favorite ways to like really nerd out on my budget and get into the nitty gritty of it all. So I wanted to share that with you just because my budget was so short this week. Thank you all so much for watching and following along with my journey. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully June is going to be a good month and a little bit less spendy for me, and I hope the same for you as well. As always, I hope y'all are staying safe and healthy and that you have a good day.